Is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders. Hope you guys are all doing absolutely fantastic. We got Al up bright and early. Good morning, Al. Good morning. We got Albert. Good morning to Andrew. Andrew from Utah. We got Bell in the house. Good morning to Bill, Brian, Eric, Frank, George. We got Joe. Good morning, JT. Good morning, Kevin's in the house. Lauren joining us. Good morning, Martinez ready to party. Good morning to Paul, Rick, Rock, Ruben's in the house. We got all my peeps at YouTube land. Good morning. We got Richard Jett. All my lurkers in the background, not saying nothing. It's okay. I still love you guys. But just make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Also in the internal chat, if you just want to throw that little message from hosts and panelists onto everyone, just so I mean, people already. I don't need an excuse. I don't think I need an excuse why people think I'm a little more crazy than I am. So, if it could look like I'm talking to somebody, that's cool. But all good, all good. We got a little gap up today, so we got that bullish fever in the house. Let's go. Bulls are back, but don't get too happy yet. It's okay. I mean, just take it down a notch. Let's take it down a notch. It's still a retest gap. We're still gapping into some support. But the news is coming off of we're starting to get to earnings season, so we got some individual companies on the move both ways. I think that big news kind of carrying the market is actually from Taiwan. Taiwan Semiconductors reporting at least, I mean, the earnings were good. The earnings weren't bad. Pretty decent earnings, but then the forecast is phenomenal. Still showing a lot of need for chips. What else could carry this market but the chips? The Nvidias, the AMDs are all gapping up with that, and giving the market a little bit of a boost as well. So I haven't checked Apple yet, but most likely I would assume Apple's probably on the move too. So looking at the chart, we'll see. We got a nice little bounce, like at the 20 EMA, right there. We got a right on it. We got a nice little hammer candle, not too much crazy volume. We are pushing up on the good news, but we're going to run into a little bit of a brick wall at open, at least. So this is again a little retest. I think there might be some people that I'm a little disappointed on this gap down, and oh man, why did I take my profits here? Okay, why did I take profits here? They might choose this opportunity, take some profits, and I think we end up seeing some kind of a retest. If you scroll back a little bit, I mean, for all the analysis we do on the stock market every single day, I probably could have just recorded myself and then maybe came up with some kind of AI thing myself, but we haven't really moved outside of that range in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and we got into that range 23. That's like a whole month and week of trading, of active trading days. So we're still in this range, and this is the top. Obviously, this is the bottom. This puts us about 50% in the middle of everything. And we still don't really have a choice. We still got to wait. The beige book, I think, yesterday confirms a little bit of the longer for the rates for longer type scenario. It doesn't look like they're on board to cut yet. So I think the Fed futures rate dropped a little bit in chances of any kind of lowering, and that might push us back a little bit. So market wasn't feeling that too much, but again, we'll see how the earnings season wants to prevail, and then we'll go into Jerome Powell on the 31st. But those are the big events coming up still. We got a lot of companies next week as well. But so far so good, just kind of hanging out. I'm worried a little bit about that first little resistance. If we get past this, it's going to lead me a little bit more bullish, but still to that point, we got 474.45. And then we got 475.79 and 476.49. But this is a little breath for the bulls. A little bit of hopium. But keep in mind, retest. I'm looking for, I don't know if I want to short out of the gate, but I'd probably want to lean a little bit short, play some kind of fades where I can find them. And then I think a little bit later today, maybe we still kind of rally. This is obviously going to be that if that candle breaks moment, not to a crazy extent, because we still got a little bit of support below us, 468.70. and 467.94. I've already seen how people panic on pretty much sideways chop 3 days down. So we start breaking that. Then we see some talking heads start flaring up a little bit. We got the Qs. Qs look quite a bit stronger. And again, Taiwan Semiconductor is what's really kind of giving us the hopium to the chip market again. So no wonder chips are a little stronger. Also, no wonder why we're getting a little gap up on, because the SPY also contains some of the chip companies, but it also contains a lot of the Boeings and other companies that are just kind of little more not safety plays, but a lot of dividend companies, not all just tech. So tech is still prevailing, is strong at this point. Really, really good gap on them. I still see a little bit of resistance we got to clear through, but we're almost at one now. We got a little bit of a resistance somewhere around 410.75. I'm seeing one more we've never really quite retested at least, 411.78. And then this is going to be a retest gap from this candle. But the fact we're gapping above this pivot, if we get some kind of pullback, I'm not really looking for a full-on gap fill from yesterday. That would be, I think that would be actually kind of rough if we get that. But maybe we get a retest into 408.80, something like that. Maintain that level and then see if we get some kind of further bounce from that point. If we don't just start breaking these levels at open, depending on where we open the next 22 minutes, and we just rally home. But I'm definitely leaning a little bit more bullish, especially on the Qs. Looking good. Let's check out TLT. See if we get any secret bombs in here somewhere. Inside day from yesterday, still kind of holding. I believe that's a 100 off a daily. A little bit of an indecision candle. We're down to what, 94.40 at open. So gapping down a little bit, still kind of maintaining that range. And we got some decent support. That being said, we also got some decent resistance somewhere around 94.47, so 94.50, somewhere in that zone on TLT. If that rejects, I'm still looking to come back down, retest this 93.99. It's not going to be a good feeling if it happens, just because we would be below all moving averages at that point. And I think we definitely have room for further pullback and still kind of remain bullish. I could see us down to like 91.86, somewhere in that zone would still be a healthy 50% retrace with that bounce. So we still have a lot of room to play with, but it's not going to feel as good if we do drop under that. Let me know what tickers you guys got you want me to take a look at. We can pull those up now. AMD. Let's get some of these off. We did have a good trade. Could have been better if we just lost power. I heard some people were losing power. It was like 2 towns over. I was like, why couldn't that be me? And I am in PA, like an hour and a half from Amish County. It wasn't them. They don't have power, so they can't lose what they don't have. That's kind of crazy. AMD, beautiful gap up, all-time highs. When I looked at like 6, 7 in the morning, I think we were flirting with the actual high, and then we got a little bit higher. I don't know. I got to get better at these gaps. It feels like, especially continuously making all-time highs, I'm very hesitant to play them. I think I'm just not that good at it. I don't know. I haven't practiced it enough, I guess. But yeah, you're gapping to all-time highs. I just feel dirty buying it there because every single person ever in the history of AMD is finally profitable. Imagine being the guy that bought right up here. Like, he's like, that's it. I'm not selling. I'm never selling AMD. And that guy wakes up today, he's finally profitable. He had to sit through it. he had to. Oof. He went on a journey. Definitely an emotional one, maybe a spiritual one too. But today, his stubbornness proves positivity. So yeah, that's some diamond hands. Forget crypto world, that's diamond hands. But yeah, it is a retest gap. We do have 2 days out. I mean, if this bell rings and this thing just skyrockets, I could see that happening. I got no resistance in the way forever. realistically, that's probably not going to be me. Maybe if we get some kind of a pullback, that would be decent. Very, very far extended from some of those moving averages, but we got good positive news, catalyst, gap into all-time highs. We've been nothing but rampaging. So far looks good. I would love to see some kind of a pullback, or maybe on like a daily chart, 3-minute chart, 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart, something like that, giving me some kind of double bottom, some kind of levels. Maybe I'll try to play it bullish. I really also don't want to play it bearish either, just because I'm terrible at I don't know. Maybe I haven't seen it enough. I just get crazy nervous around them. And then you got Nvidia. Same thing, gapping to all-time highs. This was a little bit different. At least we got a red candle yesterday, so we got some people maybe short, and I don't think that many. We still had a lot of buying throughout the day, closed inside that range. I got to be forced to use the candle before. That puts us at retests. Again, I'd probably be looking, most likely just wait, the bell rings, it goes higher, but it's going to go without me. What was the other one? It was, yeah, plug. Plug, not so good. When you offer $1 billion worth of dilution to your company, not great. Coinbase, we got just kind of hanging out, pre-market down 20 cents, nothing too crazy. We've been building a decent amount of support in here. Wave wise, I'm only looking at maybe a 1, 2. This is our 3. We probably have a little bit more to go to the downside. And this is just some kind of sideways chop up. Okay, we got a decent support. Maybe for just a risk to reward purpose if you want to try to play it, but we probably have some better advantages elsewhere, I think. This is some kind of support sitting at 132.34. So if you want to take a shot at it, I'd have my stops below that, maybe even throw them at like 130.53. To the higher side, if we really get moving on this thing, we'd probably get to 141.14, but I don't see crypto going crazy yet. And that would be my risk to reward type play if you wanted to try it. Otherwise, we just have 2 inside days, and it does look like we're still kind of pulling back a little bit. Almost like a little pennant pattern, bearish pennant pattern, something like that. We got Boeing on the list, man. We got everything on the list today. Everything is piling in. Inside day on Boeing yesterday, another inside open today. We are bouncing, so I have a longer term volume area. We are above that. That looks good. I'd see if we get a little bit of a pullback as close as possible to 204.18. That'd be the spot to try, and then stops maybe somewhere around 247. Even into this gap fill, that's more than enough risk to reward to get 2+ Rs on that trade. If you wanted to, decent location, it's kind of decent location. My target. So if this is the fibs, these are not going to be to the penny, but the 211.28 is your 618. We should have held that. So I think to a bullish direction, I think it's going to be kind of tough now. That should be our resistance. So look for like somewhere probably just under 211.28, something like that, to be your target if you're going to go bullish on this thing. Otherwise, bearish. The bear side on a longer term basis, probably looking at like 195.51, and then it starts getting scary for the remaining bulls. 191, and then we still have technically all the way down to 179.58, never been retested. So, but I would think with that bullish run, regardless, it's kind of crazy when you compare like the news catalysts to the charts, it kind of still works the same way. It's like that's the catalyst that brought us down here, but okay, we're at that 618 again. That did fall a little bit heavier. Still kind of looks bearish to me. Also inside from that day. So if it drops a little bit more close to this, whatever I said, 204.20-ish, that might be the spot I might look to try to play, see if we get some kind of risk reward if we're going to go that way. DraftKings, DKNG, yet had a strong day yesterday. We got a stronger day today. Beautiful looking gap. Again, same thing though. We might have a little bit more, and if I turn on the extended hours, or probably going to the small time frame, we might have already got to like this 38.05 zone. Let's see if that happened. 38.05. Not quite yet. So right where we stand now. So we got potentially a little bit more room ahead of us on DraftKings. All of those possible resistance up in that zone has already been retested. We have the ability to go higher. This is a retest gap. Again, I don't think if I, as a DraftKings shareholder, would really want to see to show strength that we get all the way back down to this 34.81 after this type of gap. We're legitimately taking out all sorts of volume. Biggest volume candle down here is this one. So we're going to obviously need to breach that to really continue higher, and we have some resistance above us. So the move might have already happened pre-market. If we could get some type of pullback, a little bit, look for like 36.69, somewhere in that zone. At least now, then we would have better. That'd be my first spot I would look. Second spot to see if we get down to like 36.10. I think both of those two would be acceptable for some kind of a pullback to say, okay, this is profit taking, and let's see if we try to play it long. If we start to break down there, the question is how strong are these bulls on this move? But very, very good gap. Two strong days in a row. Lots of volume yesterday too. So definitely some people profitable. And we were looking at a double bottom too. That was a pretty one. Let's see. Plug. Yep. Take a look at Plug. That's going to look different. So they put out $1 billion share offer yesterday after hours. I feel like they might have named themselves Plug because just in case somebody has to like pull the plug on them, they might be. I don't know what their will says. Like if I'm in a coma, just please pull the plug. That's apparently what they did to themselves. I think this is an all-time. No, it's not all-time low. Do we have any type of support? I think they were down to like 86 cents or something at one point. Yeah, 84 cents. Probably comes lower. This is a pretty fantastic retest gap. I'm just looking to see if there's any support we could bounce off of. Maybe a little bit lower. Maybe like this 219 zone. 216. That would be my best shot, I think. So see if this one drops a little further, freaks some people out. Otherwise, we got a lot of days down in a row. This one's under $5, so for day trade purpose, probably not. But there's probably a gap that will fill at some point. But yeah, it's tough once you start flooding the market with another. You have to raise another $1 billion to keep yourself breathing. Is tough. Lucia says, "Don't worry, they'll reverse split, and the price will go up." Technically, I would if they reverse split and the price stays the same, then I'm really concerned. It's like it had no impact on your stock whatsoever. But yeah, they look like they're a little bit out of it. All right, we got Microsoft, MSFT. This one looks almost like one of my favorites of the day so far, actually. It hasn't run enough where it's like all-time high gap and the huge resistance. We're above all VPOCs. This is still a retest from yesterday. I would like to still see this thing come back first, so I'd be patient on Microsoft. But if we get down to like this 389.85, I wouldn't mind looking for some kind of a bounce, or this would be a good contender for give me that like red high wave candle, something like that at open. But it's not gapping too crazy yet. There's not a lot of resistance in the way. This one probably would be one of my favorites so far. We got SMCI. Super microcomputer. Nice little hammer off the 20. See if we can get a tiny little pullback. This has got some room in it, so it's not bad. Good gap and go. Targets for me on this one take me to about 340. So we have about $10 to the higher side. And if we could get it a little bit lower, close to this 327.67 zone, now all of a sudden we got $13 to the higher side of things. What could be a little concerning, and why also actually might be good, because then we could get that little sell-off that we need. But if we were to fib out this right here, this puts us almost at that 50% retracement, and then actually that 618 puts us right into that resistance. So I still like that target a lot. I want to see if we get some kind of pullback. Been kind of being patient. Even SPY right now on the 5-minute chart looks like a little double top too. Let's see. We got Leonard's only 45 minutes from Lancaster. What town are you in? Granted, I probably don't know too many towns because it's still like an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes for me. We got Square. Decent gap, but PayPal was moving. I definitely want to take a look at PayPal this morning as well. Resistance should be coming in somewhere around 65.52. This is a decent pullback on a wave count basis. Again, I think this is a 1, 2, 3. I think this could be some kind of a 4. Maybe we get into like the 67.88. I don't know if that happens today, but this is definitely some kind of a retest. So again, I wouldn't mind a pullback at open, even on this one. Get myself a little bit better risk to reward, but that is a good looking hammer that we put in yesterday. And then 5, maybe a double bottom, something like that. And then TSM. Well, I got 6 minutes. I got 6 minutes and 75 more tickers. You guys are on fire today. This one has to go much higher. Another absolutely insane wild gap. Very tough to figure out what to do with this thing. It is a retest gap from yesterday, but we're clearing every single pivot possible, at least recent pivots. And what I do like on this one is there's not, I mean, we have some, I guess, resistance above us, but zero volume in this area. So if we could get some kind of a pullback, especially if we could get down to like 109.88, and then we want to try to break bullish, there's really nothing stopping us up to about 121. So we got a lot of room on this thing still. It's gonna be a contender. Gonna be contender. Let's see, we got Riot. Nothing crazy fun with Riot today. The only thing I would say is at least we're down to a major volume zone. This is also a good retest spot. So if it's going to get a bounce, it probably has to be somewhere around here. You also don't want to see the levels of, I would say, probably $10.24 start to break. Honestly, I don't even want to see yesterday's candle break on this one. But if we're going to get some kind of a bounce, I wish this gap was a little bit higher. So maybe like $11.15 at open, something like that. But even for like a retrace into like $13 something to that zone, I think would be decent. But there's nothing telling me we're getting that bounce yet. It is a good location though. All right, we got Crocs. The same thing. Retest gap. I'd probably see if this one comes back a little bit first. See if this one fades down into maybe $99.68. You are opening at some kind of resistance. If we start to break that resistance, we look okay. I mean, we could probably get to like 103.48, and then I got a higher target, probably 104.82. See if we can retest that. But otherwise, for right now, yeah, let's see if we get some kind of a pullback on Crocs first. Did we look at Meta yet? I don't think we did. Meta. I like Microsoft a little bit better than Meta today, at least. This one we are getting a small little gap up, which is good. Nothing too crazy. Into some decent resistance. If we push a little bit further and everything goes nuts, I'm looking for like 74, 79 is my bigger target for today. But I would see if this retest comes in, see if we could hold or maybe get some kind of bounce off 369.34. If the market pulls back a little bit more, 366.27. I'd want to see that level hold. But yeah, we have a little congestion up there still. It's not a horrible gap. Just that would be 1-2. Maybe if we get that high wave, a little concerned about targets to the higher side. But like you saw in PayPal yesterday, we blew through every concerned target and just kept going. So we got ABAT, aka Applied Materials. Good gap. Still got some more room to run. I would put targets at about 160.23. This is definitely a retest as well. Again, this one I don't really want to see a full on retest, but maybe we get held up somewhere around 156.46, increase our risk reward a little bit, and then maybe look to play it to this 160.36, kind of in the middle, a little bit high before we have to hit that resistance. But definitely decent for some kind of pullback to watch. DraftKings green yesterday, yes. AMD green, listening to Unstoppable, trading like a robot, not like a human. Sometimes I talk like how I just read that, kind of just sound like a robot, to be honest. Check out the SPY. What do I think? Yep. So SPY, we did take a look at this one already. I still want to remain bullish in this market, but we do have a little bit of resistance ahead of us, and this is a retest gap. So I'm kind of seeing if we can get some kind of pullback somewhere. SPY 0-day option, 51 cents. I mean, that's what it might say now, but when the bell rings, that'll be updated. So just be careful if you're checking out option pricing, especially for 0-day now. Microsoft green, 37K buy hold play. I don't know what that means. That means your position is 37K in Microsoft. Yeah, trend is all bullish still. I'm not. Maybe you want to sell some covered calls, something like that, just to bring in some income just in case. But yeah, everything on Microsoft looks still bullish. I don't see any reason for concern yet. All right, what do we got? Like 7 seconds. All right, everybody on YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, that little thumbs up thing. It goes a long way. I don't know really what it does, but makes the people at Google happy at least. So make sure you guys hit that, and that's the morning bell. You guys are incredible. I'll catch all you guys tomorrow. Stay safe.